I see you shiver with anticipation.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
Welcome to Tuesday night. Welcome to Home Team Sports. It's your boys, the Big Alboski. It's Cousin Phil. It's Big Chris Fant. What's up, gentlemen?
How you doing?
We're doing great. So let's start. Let's jump right in while we're waiting for Anthony Joseph's tremendous return. And let's jump in with the St. Louis Rams. Sorry, the Los Angeles Rams win the Super Bowl, and Kupp was named the Super Bowl MVP. Your thoughts, each of you, and we'll start with Chris on the Super Bowl itself. The game. What did you think? Your thoughts on the Super Bowl.
It was a pretty exciting game. I mean, I liked it up till when the refs started throwing flags inside the 2 minutes. I mean, 3 flags in 2 minutes. I mean, it's suspect pass interference calls, but at the end, Joe Burrow still had a chance. I actually thought Joe Burrow was going to march right down the field like Tom Brady and go in and win the game.
Absolutely. Cuz, what did you think?
From what I watched, I didn't watch the whole thing. I was in the taking my son home, so I watched the first quarter on my phone, but I was driving, so I was listening to it. I think I missed the second and half of the third in the Super Bowl halftime. But, man, I was hoping for Joe Burrow to, like Chris said, to march down there.
That game-winning drive.
Yeah, you know what? But their weakness, their Achilles heel, came back and bit them was that offensive line. And it's just one of those. It's funny because we're talking about an upcoming topic, but like that last play, did you see Aaron Donald's head over the ball, like offsides?
Mm-hmm.
He picks it, and it was like. But it is what it is, man. The Rams won. I wasn't, I'm glad Stafford finally got his first. Burrow is only in his second season. Hopefully he can get back to the big game again.
And I think he will. I think that they're going to address the offensive line situation because that's pretty much, like you said, their weakness. If you're looking for a weakness, they might need maybe another corner that's not Eli Apple. But other than that, the Bengals are right there. They're close. So I think if they get a couple of good signings, get a couple, maybe a veteran offensive lineman or two to help out, protect Joe Burrow. I mean, he was sacked, 7 times? I think he was knocked down like 10 times. I think he was under duress the entire game. They really couldn't get any fluidity on offense. That defense was just punishing. Although I got to give credit to the Bengals defense for keeping them in it. I mean, not letting it get out of their hands, out of reach, where they couldn't even they couldn't even catch up or anything. It was close the whole time for one reason or another. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game, not as much as the divisional round, because how can you follow that act? And the AFC Championship and the NFC Championships were pretty damn good games. But I'm with Chris on this one. I did not. They let them play. Everybody wants to bitch about the face mask. Anthony himself said nobody's talking about the face mask on Jalen Ramsey with that 75-yard touchdown. Well, fine. But a lot of times in the Super Bowl, and I've seen this over the past at least 5 years, the referees letting them play a little bit, not calling every damn holding penalty because you can almost call holding on almost every play, right? Not calling every little pass interference call, maybe just allowing a little bit of contact, but not completely, still keeping an eye on it because if it's blatant pass interference, you got to call it. But yes, he grabbed his face mask. Yes, that should have been called back. But who's to say they wouldn't have scored anyway? I don't know. You don't know that. So, we never will know. But the bottom line is they let them play for 3 quarters and almost 2 minutes left in the game. And then after that, they threw, I think, 6 or 7 flags in the last 2 minutes. That's ridiculous. That to me is shady to me, and I didn't like it at all. And I was actually getting mad. I was getting mad, especially the one where I forget the defender on the Bengals, but He was covering Cup, and he has him by the jersey, but he knocks the ball down in front of him. That was a hell of a play. That was a great play.
54.
Yeah, right. He knocks the ball down, and that was 3rd and goal, right? So I mean, that was a huge play, and they called holding on that. I think, like I said, it was a good game up until those last 2 minutes. I was really exciting. I was hoping Burrow would pull it out anyway, just like you, cuz I really was. But I mean, the bottom line is, like you said, that defensive line and Aaron Donald. I mean, they just had a field day. And if they double teamed Donald, then the other guy was in there and making plays. So, I mean, still, it was just, what are you going to do? They need an offensive line. I think the Bengals are building something good here. And Joe Burrow, make no mistake about it, Joe Burrow, before his career is over, will play in this game again. I don't know when, but he'll be in the Super Bowl again someday. My opinion.
I think he's got a good chance because the Cincinnati has the 5th most cap space to spend money this year.
Yeah.
So he can bring people in there. They're
They
already
need
there.
offensive linemen.
There. They go all offensive line. They got the receivers. They got the running game.
They need a tight end too, I think.
I think
he was just
tight
hurt.
end is gone. Yeah. But you still have to get by KC and Buffalo.
Right.
Wish they did.
Because, I mean, that division, Baltimore's fallen off the face of the earth. Pittsburgh's fallen down too. Cleveland are exposed for being frauds. So Cincinnati could be the front runner of that division for the next, I don't know, 5 years. I don't know.
Pending where Russell Wilson goes. Maybe he goes to Pittsburgh.
Oh, geez. Well, that's a whole nother subject. All right. So let's really piss Anthony off wherever the hell he is. And that leads into, was the Super Bowl fixed? Because this comes from my grandfather, your Uncle Bob Straley. Because when I was a kid, he would tell me, he would swear up and down that, oh, by the way, before I go any further, happy birthday, Aunt Jay. Aunt Jay is 59 today. She's not really 59. But happy birthday, Aunt Jay. Yeah. He just put it up. Yes. Aunt Jay is yes. Happy birthday, Aunt Jay. I hope you see this later. I don't know if you're watching live or not. But anyway. He used to tell me every single week, don't get so excited about the NFL. He used to shoot the NFL down all the time. He said every single game is fixed one way or the other. He said that basically telling me that the NFL is, for lack of a better term, a work. That's the term that professional wrestlers use. That, in other words, the outcome's already determined by Vegas, and everything kind of falls into place. And they change things along the way because of injuries, but it's all really controlled by betting. And now that betting is legal when it used to not be. It used to be that sneaky thing everybody does on the side. Now it's completely legal. And you have betting apps on your phone that you can place bets last minute, or you could do parlays or whatever. Chris was talking to me all season about the stuff that he was betting on and the stuff that he was right about. You, cuz, picked more games this season than I've ever seen anybody do in my life. You were right, I swear to God, 80 or 90% of the time. So what I'm saying is was it fixed for the Rams to win based on some of the call? I'm asking you both this question. Was it fixed for the Rams to win because it was in Los Angeles, because it was, Matthew Stafford has been around a while, and Joe Burrow will get his chance somewhere down the road. So Matthew Stafford gets his championship. It's kind of a happy ending to a great drama story. And, at the end of the game, when the Rams needed that touchdown and it was 3rd and goal, out comes the flag, when to me it really wasn't holding. So did they call that because they were trying to help the Rams get in the damn end zone or not? Your thoughts on what I just said.
No, I don't think it was fixed. Football's hard to fix. Because if it was fixed in the Rams side, they would have thrown a flag on the face mask on T. Higgins' 75-yard touchdown. You know what I mean? You'd have saw a lot more flags. There was no flags until the end there.
Maybe that's why.
But who's going to know that game is that close at the end of that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Rams jumped out. The guy dropped the ball on purpose because he knows that the Bengals can come back from 11 points. And did it to KC twice. But I'm just kidding on that one. But no, I don't believe it was fixed. There was 2 good penalties that was called. To me, it's just the way it was. Zach Taylor said it's not fixed. And it's all Cincinnati fans that are saying this. And it's like all the Patriots said it back in the day. When the Eagles beat them, when the Giants beat them, twice. So it's just the opposing team not happy. Cowboys fans have been saying it for weeks since Dak's run up the middle.
Well, they've been saying it for 25 years, but that's another story.
Yeah.
All right.
But to me, it was a good game, tarnished by conspiracy theories.
Chris,
that's me.
You agree with that? Chris, you agree with that?
Yeah. They're just ticky-tack plays. It happens all year long in every NFL game. They either make the call or they don't make the call. Sometimes it decides the ending of a game during the regular season or the playoffs. We've seen the playoffs before with a pass interference call that was a blatant one that was not called. It's just the rest decision. They have to own that decision on what they made. I would have liked it. They would have got together on the pass interference call, but they didn't get together to say, okay, pass interference, not pass interference. Because to me, it was a ticky-tack call. That should have been a non-pass interference call.
Yes. So the answer
still gave Joe Burrow a chance. I think the NFL wanted it to go that way, and then Joe Burrow drives down, kicks field goal, you go to overtime, and you shoot it out. That would have been awesome to see.
Yeah, and you can say that Joe Burrow blew it in that moment, but like Phil said, he was under duress the entire game, and at that point, that offensive line, which was already dilapidated.
Actually, he wasn't. They had 8 sacks. I heard you say 7. They had 8 sacks, but 7 of them came from halfway through the third quarter to the end of the game.
That is?
I do.
What's up there,
I just
Shondo?
like the last play. The last play, he actually switched positions, and I think that fooled Cincinnati's offense.
Yeah.
And that's why he got in there to get that tackle. But
He almost completed
before that, to hold him a half a yard short was extreme power from that guy. Just to hold P-Ride back from getting that first down, that was the play of the game.
Oh, yeah, that run.
We miss you too, Adrian. I said that at the offset before the show, and my wife's ears perked up like a fucking German Shepherd when I said hi, Adrian, on the thing there. Just to let you know, all right? Just to let you know, my wife was like doing one of these when Adrian popped up on the screen there. Just saying. She's over there. I'm just saying. But anyway. Our next topic then, guys, is what do you guys know about the MLB lockdown? Chris, you mentioned you knew some stuff. Like, what did you know? And I'm sure, Phil, you know some stuff because I'm sick and tired of sitting here waiting for Anthony now. It's 15 minutes into the show.
The only thing I know is that the holdback is that they want the younger players to be paid more money earlier.
Okay.
Rather than waiting, because a team owns a rookie up to 6 years. They have the option to pay them early big money if they choose to. But like Ryan Howard, like Albert Pujols, you play those years, and have all those numbers, and they didn't pay the guys until their rookie contracts were up.
Right. Phil, what do you know about it?
Actually, there's several things. They met Saturday. The players gave the MLB a list of demands, not demands, but like whatever their side. So they should expect something, a reply tomorrow or Thursday. They got a soft date. Let me see when the soft date is, March 3rd, so that they can come together. It was the 28th, but they pushed it to the 3rd. And there's several things. Like, one of the things that are standing out is this revenue sharing. They don't want to give revenue sharing to the lesser, smaller markets because they feel that they're not using the money to build a championship team. You know what I mean? They're staying on the bottom. You know what I mean?
Right.
The other thing is adding a 3-pick lottery. The players want 8. Major League Baseball Players Associations, they want only 3. Some other small things like expanding the playoffs. They want to add like 3-4 more teams to it.
They're going to have half the league in the playoffs?
12.
That's crazy.
The league wants 14. The others, they're saying, no, we want 12. So that's the 2 teams holding it up, which I don't agree to expanded playoff teams.
I don't either.
Part of me does and it doesn't, because for the simple fact, like, you had the AL East, who is great. They have 4 great teams: Boston and New York, Toronto, and Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? And somebody's not going to make it.
Right.
And they all had like 90+ wins, but it benefits them. But then you got like teams in like the AL West who barely cracked 500 outside of Houston. You know what I mean? The Angels, Rangers, and Seattle. Which Seattle will surprise me this year. But
so why not just re-rank it instead of adding teams? Why not? You have your divisions. You keep your divisions the way they are. You have your division winners. That's fine. And then everybody that's not a division winner, you rank them.
Well, you do, but you only get 2 teams that make the playoffs, I believe. I don't remember how it goes now because it's been fucked up the last 2 years. You have your 3 division leaders, and then you have your 2 teams with the better records. You know what I mean? But I think that they went to a wild card, so they had like 6. You know what I mean? Because you had the bottom 2 play a wild card. And then the other one is adding the, they got like a set luxury tax up at $2 million per year for the next 3 years, like $214 this year, $216 the year after, $218, and then $222. So there are some of the holdups. So hopefully they continue to talk and see what they come back to the table on.
Will we have a baseball season on time?
If we can get it done by the 3rd, but I doubt it'll. So what do you say on time? You say that one game that's always in the end of March, it's just 2 teams play for like a week, over a 3-day span, like over a week, 3 games over a week span.
Like normal opening week, first week of April, right?
I believe so. If they can come up to something by March 3rd, there should be. But that first series, no, there's no time for that.
Okay. You got anything to add there, Chris?
I just want to know how the major league owners are going to say with the businesses. Do the businesses have any say in it? Because all the businesses are going to be hurting with all the outside of the stadium businesses and everything are going to be making no money while this is going on.
So it's the Major League Baseball Players Associations, which is all the players in the union, versus Major League Baseball, which is all owners and the commissioner. So,
yeah, the expansion stuff. How would they play that out? Just like 1-in games?
What's that?
For everybody, 1-in games. Say if they would expand it, each team plays, say, 1-in games, and whoever wins plays the other team.
Or maybe a 3-game series.
Best of 3, probably. I don't know. They didn't get that far. They just want to expand the playoffs. from 12 to 14, add another team to each division, I believe. Because I do believe it's at 12 right now. You got the 2 wild cards that play one game, and then the winner goes into the playoffs, and then the best of 5, whatever, 3, 5, 7. So when I say 14, it's 7 in each division. You know what I mean?
All right, so, Cuz, do you remember who you predicted would be in the Super Bowl before the season started? We did a Super Bowl, we did an NFL preview special, and I went back and I looked at and I watched that episode. And my pick for the Super Bowl was Tampa Bay versus Buffalo. Do you remember who yours was?
I want to say Buffalo and the Rams.
That's what you said.
Buffalo and the Rams.
So and you also said that the Rams would win the Super Bowl.
All right.
That was before the season started, Chris.
I think I had the Titans and Packers.
Titans
Didn't work out too well for me.
There you go. Well, I mean, Henry went down, and when he came back, he wasn't quite, 100%. And I mean, you make excuses all you want for that game, but Tennessee had a great season, and I was with you on that. But I never trust Aaron Rodgers to win in the playoffs. He's 1-4, or now 1-5. I don't know what the hell he is, and he can't beat the 49ers in the playoffs. It's ridiculous. Like all these things. And so, but it's going to be fun. We're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers in a minute. But before we get to that subject, I want to know everybody who's watching. What was your favorite Super Bowl commercials this year? Because last year they weren't that great. I remember them not being that great. I could not even remember a Super Bowl commercial from last year. This year, I remember several of them, obviously because it was so recent, but also because they were good. I mean, they were really good this year. The ones that stood out to me was the Chevy commercial with the Sopranos with Meadow. And oh man, I blew a gasket when I heard the music and it was driving a Chevy, and I'm like, tell me it's fuck. At first I thought, I was like, tell me it's fucking AJ, right? And no, it was Meadow. And then she pulls up, gets out of the truck, and then hugs AJ. I'm like, holy shit, it was AJ. So that was cool. A lot of people are talking to me about nostalgic ones like the Cable Guy one, and with Jim Carrey, and the Dr. Evil one. But like, which ones did you guys? I mean, cuz I don't know if you saw any of them. You said you did.
I think I saw 2 commercials.
But Chris, do you remember any that was like really hilarious for you?
Not hilarious, but I like to see Budweiser got back involved after missing out last year with the Clydesdale and the dog. I thought that was pretty good to watch.
The Chevy truck one with Meadow and AJ Soprano. The first note of the theme music gave me chills. Yes. Same thing here, Jennifer. Same thing here. Yeah. So, cuz were you a fan of the Sopranos, cuz?
I've never watched it.
God damn you. Okay.
I mean, listen, man, that was a part of time in my life. I didn't have a lot of television.
I
you know what I mean.
I got you. I'm gonna have to send you a way to watch those. I have a buddy.
The Fire Stick.
Well, there you go. So on HBO Max, start on season 1, episode 1.
I have HBO Max too.
Well, whatever. Then get going. What are you waiting for then?
Were
you a fan of The Sopranos, Chris?
Yes. I watched just about every episode.
So yeah, that when that popped on, like just like Jennifer said, when that music hit, I got excited, and I was wondering who was in it. And then they showed the rearview mirror, and they showed like Meadow's face, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's Meadow!" And my wife's looking at me like I was nuts. It was Meadow, Soprano. Whatever. The halftime show. What'd you think of the halftime show, Chris? Because I know Cuz didn't really watch it, right?
Bits and pieces. I saw Eminem and whatever they were in the boxes, and Dre and 50.
I thought it was kind of like the presentation of it all was mediocre. I thought they all did well, but I didn't like the whole thing where they're just kind of like hanging out and dancing on a roof or some shit like that. But
No.
historically speaking, I thought it was great that hip hop was represented, like hip hop and rap was represented in the halftime show of the Super Bowl. Not only that, but who they chose to represent hip hop. I mean, you're talking Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, you're talking 50 Cent, you're talking Kendrick, and you're talking Eminem and Mary J. Blige. So I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. And Meadow still looks gorgeous. She sure does. She's 40, by the way, Jennifer. I don't know if you know that. She's the act. I forget her name. What's the actress's name? She's 40 years old. I looked that up during. But Big Nick, I love the fact that they all played their hits. Right.
Jamie Lynn Sigler.
Jamie Lynn what? You had to look that up.
Sigler.
Jamie Lynn Sigler. Okay. Sorry, I forgot her name. If for all you Soprano fans out there that might get pissed off and say, "How can you not remember her name?" Sorry.
She hasn't done nothing since.
Pretty much no, but she looks the same, like Jennifer said. It was all good, but not as good as it could have been. The halftime show, yeah. I mean, it was. I liked it. I was entertained. It kind of took me back to old school. 1990s rap, some Snoop Dogg and some Dr. Dre, and then you mix in a little Eminem in there, and you mix in a little new stuff with Kendrick, and so it was cool. I liked it. It wasn't.
I just think a stage setup would have been better. The whole cube boxes and everything just confused me, and it
kind of threw you off, right?
Yep.
They're walking up and down the steps, they're sitting on couches, and I don't know what the hell that was about.
That's hip hop.
Yeah, I know. And then, and can I point this out? Eminem was not kneeling, like it wasn't a national anthem protest type thing. He was kneeling out of respect for Tupac when Dr. Dre started playing. Right, when Dre went to the piano, he knelt down for Tupac. So all you idiots out there, I seen you on social media saying, "Oh, look at Eminem protesting at the Super Bowl. They told him not to do that." He kneeled for Tupac, not for the fucking national anthem.
Was Snoop smoking a joint?
He smoked one before the show, and there's a picture of it going viral right now.
That's what I saw.
It was great to reminisce the younger days. That music was our teen years. Hell yeah. What's up, Rodney? Is he saying that to you? You know that guy? Yeah.
That's you, Chris.
Did he freeze?
A little bit.
Yeah. You still with us, Chris? Yeah, he's frozen.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, Rodney was saying hi to you. What's up, bro?
What's up, brother?
Hey. All right. So that's the Super Bowl commercials. Like I said, they had a lot better ones. Bud had some good ones. The Rocket Mortgage one got a lot of praise with the kids playing with the dolls and the He-Man action figures, the Barbie stuff. There was the one with the kids and the football players came out of the screen and they had like a football game going on with the kids. There was the Toyota commercial with the Joneses with Tommy Lee Jones and who's the other Joneses? Rashida Jones. Did you see that one? That was pretty cool. And then one of the Jonas Brothers for some reason, and Tommy Lee Jones says, "Who the hell are you?" That was pretty funny. But anyway, so let's play a little game. And the game we're gonna play is gonna be interesting because this is super early, right? We don't know what's gonna happen in the offseason. We don't know about trades. We don't know about who's gonna move where. But we're gonna go from team to team. And I want you guys to give me your opinion on who's the starting quarterback for that team. And we'll start in the AFC East because it's near and dear to our buddy Chris's heart there. And we'll start with who is the starter next season for the New England Patriots?
Mac Jones.
Mac
Mac
Jones.
Jones. Okay, we got that. How about the Jets?
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. Sure. Some of these are easy, right?
Zach Wilson.
Buffalo, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And then we
Josh
got the And then we got the who am I leaving off?
Miami Dolphins.
The Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins.
That's a little bit different one there.
Tua.
You think it's Tua?
I believe Tua will be
Yeah,
the
Tua.
starter there.
Not Deshaun Watson?
No, I don't think so. Deshaun's going there. I got him going somewhere. I'll tell you that in a minute.
Okay, cool. So that's the AFC East is kind of staying the same. So let's go to the AFC North. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Malik
Gets a little bit harder.
Willis from Liberty.
Malik Willis. You know the Eagles were checking him out, cuz.
I don't think Eagles are going to go there.
Okay. Chris, who's going to quarterback the Steelers next year?
I agree with him, but they could also make a trade for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that one too, but
Tua will start but not end the season for the Fins. Interesting.
we're talking about week 1 starters.
Yeah, week one starters.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah, we're not talking about the rest of the season. Week 1. Who will start week 1? Okay. So we did the Steelers. How about Cleveland?
Baker's staying.
They still didn't give up on Baker. They're not going to make.
You don't think they gave up on Baker?
No,
Baker's staying.
he's staying.
Okay. All right.
Too much money.
And then obviously the Bengals will have Joe Burrow. And so what we have left there is Baltimore with Lamar, but I mean,
He'll still be the starter there too. Pending injury, but still start. This is
okay. So let's go to the AFC West. We got Kansas City. We know that guy, Patrick Mahomes. We don't really have to go there. How about the Raiders? You think it's still going to be Carr?
I think so.
Chris, you agree with that? David Carr?
Yeah.
I keep losing him because.
Yeah, he just pauses for a second.
That happens to you sometimes. Sometimes you just completely freeze.
That's
And
when
then
there's like 5 people on for some reason. I've noticed that every time there's like more than one.
Right. So David Carr. So we got Patrick Mahomes, David Carr, and then we got Herbert in the chart for the Chargers. So we don't have to really debate that much. And then we have the
Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos. Now that's interesting. So who's going to start for the Denver Broncos?
Man, you know what? I don't know which one. I don't know if Coral will be there or Pickett, but they're going rookie quarterback. I want to say Matt Corral at North Carolina, the Tar Heels.
Okay.
Not Matt, wherever he went. Not he didn't go to Tar Heels.
Who's starting for the Broncos? Week 1.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is sitting there. I don't know what he's going to do yet, but I think they're still invested in Locke. I think Locke
Drew
still
Lock.
has a chance. Yes.
I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers because his offensive coordinator is the head coach, and that's why he was hired. I think. But that's my opinion. But so that's the AFC West. So we did the East, the North, the West. We got the South. And in the AFC South, the Indianapolis Colts. Cuz.
I believe
Some are easier than others.
this is what I'm going with.
Something's clicking in his end.
This one, I believe, this is where Russell Wilson's going.
You think Russell Wilson's going to Indianapolis?
I do.
Okay. It won't be Carson Wentz. Yeah,
No.
Chris Van. Who's going to quarterback?
That's what
the
they're
Colts?
saying. They're saying that Russell Wilson possibly goes there, and then Carson Wentz goes to the Redskins.
Oh, gee, I hope so.
That's the talks.
Oh, I hope so. Because then we play him twice.
They don't believe in Heineke being the starter there. They believe they need a quarterback
No
there
Taylor
to win.
Heineke, huh? We'll get to the NFC in a minute. All right, so we did the Colts. Jacksonville Jaguars is Trevor Lawrence, right? Most likely.
Yeah.
All right, so then we go to the Titans is probably Tannehill again.
Tannehill will be there.
And the
Texans.
Houston Texans. Watson?
No. Davis Mills.
Davis
Hey,
Mills.
he
Mills.
really improved at the end of the season. They're committed to having Mills be their starting quarterback next year.
Interesting. So let's go to the NFC. And in the NFC in week 1, we'll start with the NFC East, because that's our favorite. Who's the starting quarterback for the New York Giants? Danny Dimes?
Yeah. They're going to give him a chance. They're bringing in somebody who's good with quarterbacks and the ball, what he did with Josh Allen. They're going offensive line, so I don't see if anything,
you got a new coach.
If anything, they pick one in the
That's
second
Danny
round.
Dimes'
The boy from
Danny Dimes' last chance?
Yeah.
All right. So Chris mentioned earlier that they are now the Washington Commanders. Yeah. The Commanders. So he mentioned earlier that the Commanders might have Carson Wentz. Is that your final answer, Chris?
I believe so. I don't think he's going to be in Indy.
Right. So, well, we all know that. It's just that I don't know if he's going to land a starting job. I think he's going to end up being a backup. That's my opinion. But anyway, so Taylor Heineke's out. Carson Wentz is in. What do you think, Cuz?
Carson Wentz.
That's where I'm going. I was going Wentz. Because Taylor, I mean, he's a good guy. Don't get me wrong, but I don't see him the starter.
Heineke.
Yeah, Heineke.
I'm going to say they give Heineke one more year and they draft a quarterback.
Wasn't Fitzpatrick signed a 2-year?
He is, but is he going to play realistically? I don't know. Neither one of you said Fitzpatrick. But anyway, so moving on. Dallas Cowboys is obviously Prescott, so we don't have to talk about him. So let's go to the Philadelphia Eagles. Interesting, don't you think? Is it Jalen Hurts or is it somebody else?
Like Danny Dimes, it's Jalen's last season.
Chris, you agree with that?
Yes, they're going to give Hurts one more chance. Try to surround him with a little bit more talent in the draft, maybe. But he's going to get another chance.
Yeah.
So I'm going to really go outside the box here and make you guys think I'm insane. But I think that the starter for week 1 for the Philadelphia Eagles will be Aaron Rodgers. And don't ask me how that happens. Don't ask me how that happens. I just have this weird feeling because I don't want it to be Aaron Rodgers. I really don't. I know it sounds nuts for me not to want it to be Aaron Rodgers, but I think that the Eagles think they're better than they really are because they made the playoffs with Jalen Hurts and, a pretty decent offensive line, but not so great a defense. And, they kind of mediocrely pushed themselves in there at a 9-8 record. So you take that same team and you put Aaron Rodgers in at the quarterback, all of a sudden that makes Devontae Smith look better. All of a sudden that makes everybody look better.
How's their salary cap? Can they even afford him?
Yeah, Howie Roseman is a genius at moving numbers around to make that happen. I'm just saying I would have said a couple weeks ago, I would have said Russell Wilson, but I think you guys are right about the Colts thing. So if Russell Wilson's not there for the taking, because I really think they're done with Hurts. And why just give him another year for what? What's the purpose of that? There is no purpose of that. So I mean, other than you're already full. If you're gonna fold on the year because think about it this way, cuz Jason Kelce is on the fence about whether or not he's coming back. And the same thing goes for the other lineman, Lance. Not Lance. Lane Johnson. So wouldn't they come back for a shot at the Super Bowl with a veteran quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers?
They would. They probably would.
I mean, to me, if I were Jason Kelsey, I'm like, okay, with this guy, yeah, we might actually have a chance. And all of a sudden, they're the front runners for not just the NFC East, but maybe the NFC.
You could be right.
Especially
because
Brady out of the picture.
I
rather
just
see.
don't
I'd
see
rather
Aaron
see
Rodgers
A-Rod
going to
than-
the AFC with all the stacked quarterbacks that are there right now. His best chance of winning a Super Bowl would be going to an NFC,
And especially in the weakest division of the four in the NFC, and that'd be
True.
the East.
Yes.
Because if he goes to the East, he would dominate it, just like he did the North. Get them into the playoffs at a 1 seed or a 2 seed, so they got home games. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'm pipe dreaming, but that's my prediction. You heard it here first. Week 1, Aaron Rodgers. All right, so let's go to the NFC North, where Aaron Rodgers currently plays, and that'd be the Green Bay Packers. Who's the starter of the Green Bay Packers Week 1? Cuz
Aaron Rodgers.
okay, Chris.
Oh, that's a tough one. I actually think he's going to stay. I think he's going to stay and start Week 1. Aaron
Listen,
So
management's going to pull out all the stops. They went with Jordan Love. Jordan Love didn't do shit. They know they ain't got nothing. They pick at the end of the first round. There's not going to be anybody available. Maybe Ritter from Cincinnati. So that could be his replacement because Jordan Love's not passing.
Unless he gets an offer from a good stacked playoff team, that is still his best chance to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to the Bears. That's an interesting one, right?
Not really. I mean, it's Justin Fields. Justin Fields is going to do it. The new coach is going to come in, work with this young kid. I believe it's going to be Justin Fields.
All right, so Detroit's probably going to be Goff, right? I mean, they showed some promise at the end of the season, right?
Yeah, Goff.
So Jared Goff. So you got the Packers, the Bears, and the Vikings. Is it still going to be Cousins?
Kirk Cousins is still going to be there. They might have a quarterback, but it's still Cousins' job.
No, they actually have one that Zimmer just did not give a chance in Kellen Mond. You know, Mond's his replacement, but it's not going to be this year. There's too much money still on Kirk Cousins. Too much dead money to move him.
So we did the East, we did the North. Let's go to the South. How about the Saints?
Justin Winston.
Jameis Winston.
You mean Jameis Winston?
Jameis
Winston.
I was thinking of tackle from the Eagles back in the day.
I'm with you on that one. All right, so that's the Saints. The Falcons will be Matt Ryan, most likely, right? So then Tampa.
Deshaun Watson.
Ooh, out of left field. Deshaun Watson lands in Tampa Bay. Interesting. Chris, what do you think?
That's a good possibility. I don't even know who Tampa's backup is. Who's Tampa's backup?
I knew this. It was Little, or the guy's name starts with an L. I never heard of him.
Blaine Gabbert?
No, Blaine Gabbert?
Yeah.
Oh, it is Blaine Gabbert. All right. Who was the other guy we were looking up?
Kyle Trask.
Okay, yeah, okay.
It might be Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo might be going there.
Well, we're getting to that division, but yeah. All right, so that's another one. I heard some wackadoo earlier today say Ben Roethlisberger, but
so.
All right, so because Tampa Bay is a playoff team that just needs a quarterback now that Brady retired. So, I mean, they're probably going to go – they're not going to draft maybe they'll draft a quarterback, but they're in no position to draft high. So, and this ain't a good year for quarterbacks, so maybe they'll wait till next year. Meanwhile, they got to plug somebody in there, and why not a veteran? They still got a shot at the playoffs. Who's going to stop them? The Saints, the Falcons? Let's go Carolina. Who's the starter at Carolina?
Sam Darnold. They're way too invested money-wise on him for this next year.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
going
know.
with Sam Darnold.
All right. I don't know about all that with Sam Darnold. I think they're done on him. But
you don't give it. Cam Newton ain't going to do it.
No.
And their third was what was that football league that he excelled in? PJ, whatever.
Yeah,
XFL.
Right. All right. So that's the East, the North, the South. So let's go to the West. Let's go to obviously the LA Rams is going to be Stafford.
Yeah.
So then the San Francisco 49ers.
I think it's
Trey
like
Lance.
time.
Trey Lance.
It's Lance time, right?
Yeah.
Trey Lance. So Garoppolo gets traded. If he gets traded, where does he go?
I think Tampa Bay.
I think you're right. So then let's go to the Seahawks. Will be Russell Wilson most likely, but you guys mentioned him leaving, no?
Yeah.
So
He says he wants to stay there and win more championships with them, but without the talent, I don't believe it.
I have.
ahead,
this is where, with the right moves, what they get for Russell Wilson, I believe they can package something and move up and take Kenny Pickett. I think that's going to be Russell Wilson's replacement.
So you guys mentioned Russell probably going to the Colts. Do you really think he'd go AFC? Like because of what Chris said earlier about the AFC is stacked quarterback wise.
Because he has a point to prove.
I mean, if I'm wrong about the Aaron Rodgers Eagles thing, I would like him to come to Philly myself.
Yeah, I like the next guy we're going to talk about.
Howie Roseman calls him the one that got away when it comes to draft picks. They wanted to draft Russell Wilson, and they got beat to it.
I don't know how you get beat to drafting somebody in the 4th, 5th round. I just never understood that. You know what I mean? Like, I understand in the 1st round. You know what I mean? Like C.D. Lamb and even Justin Jefferson, we didn't get beat up because
Tom Brady was a 6th round draft pick, so much for draft picks. I'm just saying, the Eagles wanted Russell Wilson and they didn't get him. Way back.
But they had 3 chances and blew all 3 of them.
I know. They were addressing other things that year, whatever, blah, blah. So we had the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Rams, and who are we missing? The Arizona Cardinals. That's probably. I mean, I know he's disgruntled, but I'm pretty sure he's sticking around.
Yeah, Murray's got 1 year left on that contract, so he's going to stay.
So that was who's the starter week 1. Interesting answers. I knew that some of them were obvious, but some of them weren't so obvious. Those teams you mentioned, like the Broncos, the Colts, the Buccaneers. It's going to be interesting to see what happens and who lands where. Just like the coaching jobs when there was like 9 of them open and they all got filled by different people. Some we expected, some we didn't expect. But it's going to be interesting to see where those quarterbacks that are thinking about leaving or want to leave, like the Russell Wilsons and the Aaron Rodgers of the world, do they actually leave? Do they stay with their teams? Do people draft a quarterback like Phil said? It's not a really big quarterback class this year, in most people's opinion.
There's a few good. You got Sam Howell. You got Kenny Pickett. Sam Howell could be a starter somewhere in the NFL eventually.
That's who I was thinking. North Carolina, Sam Howell.
So is there anything else you guys want to talk about before I talk about the contest?
I just want your opinions on the awards.
Which ones?
All of them. Aaron Rodgers, Cooper Kupp winning the offense player, Mika Parsons, Joe Burrow, comeback player over Dak Prescott, and Jamar Chase, the rookie.
Chase definitely deserved it. Cup, I think, could have been. I think he should have been considered a little bit more than he was for MVP over Aaron Rodgers. As evident as he was the MVP of the Super Bowl. He had one of the most amazing seasons in the history of the NFL for any wide receiver. I mean, he was right up there with the numbers with the
triple
right.
crown, like they call it in baseball.
Right. And I mean, I think the only guy that had a better season, I think they named, was Randy Moss. I think had in 86 or whatever the hell.
Not as far as catches and yards. I mean,
right,
but for a full season, Cup had the most yards and catches, including the Super Bowl, throughout the whole thing.
I tell you one thing, he's the main reason why Anthony Joseph won our fantasy league and probably most people's fantasy leagues. Whoever had that guy, he was clutch all year round. Jerry Rice, yeah, no, yeah, but the thing of the matter is Cup seems to be that. I mean, to me, and you guys could argue maybe if you want, but right now, as we speak, he's the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, surefire hands, great route runner. He's very deceptive. His speed is deceptive. He's faster than people think, and that's why sometimes he gets so open sometimes. I mean, guys don't give him enough space or give him enough credit. And I mean,
I get the award. That's not the question. Like some of the more, like for instance, like Jamar Chase. There's a lot of good rookies that like Jalen Waddle. You know what I mean? Najee Harris. The more of the controversy, like it could have went either way. Joe Burrow's over Dak Prescott. Dak went out week 4. Joe went out week 12. Like, do you really? You know what I mean? That's what I mean. And I'm not a Dak fan. I'm just saying, I mean,
but who judges these things? Like, who votes these things in? You know what I mean?
Obviously not the fans.
Right, because I think if the fans did, it might have gone other ways in each of the categories. You can't deny stats. You could throw stats at me all day. You can say, well,
Right.
This guy had better stats and that guy had better stats, blah, 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 blah. But in the end, a lot of times it's a popularity contest.
I think with Joe and Dak had better stats, but Joe took them farther.
And I think that's what won them. I think that's what won them over. It's kind of like Aaron Rodgers. If the idea of MVP to me is if you take that guy out of that team, where do they end up? All right. If you take Aaron Rodgers out of the Packers this year, same team, different quarterback.
No, they don't do what
whether
they
it be Jordan Love. Do they end up the number 1 seed in the NFC?
No.
So there you go. I mean, you can make that argument. But if you take Cooper Kupp out of the Rams, do the Rams still win Super Bowl? I don't know.
That one's tough, yeah.
That's tougher because
because a lot of teams
they didn't pick up OBJ. They didn't pick up OBJ till what? Week 13,
Woods
14?
went down. Well, Woods went down. That's the reason they picked up OBJ.
Right. And who was the best beneficiary of that? OBJ, because he gets a ring now.
I think the MVP should be voted in by the players themselves.
There you go.
I think the players should be able to vote who should be MVP.
So tell me about this contest.
All right. Well, I've been talking to Chris about he because he's a huge collector of sports memorabilia and jerseys and whatnot and this, that, and the other thing. And so he's like, well, we should do another contest because we did one last year where we gave away a jersey. And if you guys remember, Shango's ex-girlfriend at the girlfriend at the time won a Ravens jersey, won a Lamar Jackson jersey. So we're thinking about doing another trivia contest coming soon. for Home Team Sports. We're gonna do trivia questions spanning over several weeks. We haven't decided how many weeks yet. I wanted to talk to you guys about it in the chat. We're talking at least 4. I would like to see at least 4 weeks before we crown a winner. So at the minimum 4, where we're going to ask a trivia question every week, and we're going to randomly ask that in the show. So I'm not going to tell you when. And it's not going to be the same time. I'm not going to do it in the beginning, and I'm not going to do it at the end every show. It's going to be mixed in there somewhere. So you really got to pay attention and tune in and watch us, because I need all the answers of the correct answers of the contest sent in, and then you get to be in a drawing where we have a wheel and we spin the wheel, and you guys see you guys get to pick the jersey of your choice, provided by Mr. Vant there. So thank you, Mr. Vant, for offering that to our viewers and to everybody watching and to everybody that supports us. That's going to be fun, and it was a lot of fun last year when Cousin Phil, had that idea and got us the jersey and everything like that. So it's another good thing to do for everybody to watch and everybody to tune in and everybody to answer those questions, because we're gonna have a good time with it. And somebody's gonna win a jersey. So that's coming soon. So stay tuned. I don't know when. I don't know if it's gonna start next week or not. We haven't talked about it much yet, but we're announcing tonight that there is a Home Team Sports trivia contest coming soon, and so stay tuned. And when that comes, somebody out there watching us, one of our supporters, is going to win a jersey of your choice. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited about it, as are the boys. Any other questions, Cuz?
Nope.
No.
Let's go USA.
How are we doing in the medals? How are we doing in the Olympics? Chris, you would know, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we're actually in 6th. I think we have 17 medals total. We got Norway and then Russia. So Norway's in 1st, Russia's in 2nd.
Okay. One last thing before we get out of here, guys. I want your opinion on the following. If I can type fast enough. Celtics at the Sixers tonight. Who do you got?
Always Sixers. I don't go against them.
Still no James Harden?
No James Harden until after All-Star break, they said.
His first game
at home.
His first game will be February 25th.
Sixers at home in a close one.
Winner gets a Jets jersey. Who the hell would want that?
If it's autographed, I would.
Well, autographed by who?
No, Wayne Corbett. It don't matter. Mark
Wayne
Gaston.
Corbett. There's a name.
Come on, man.
Why not Joe? Why not Broadway Joe while you're dreaming?
Why not Vinny? How about throw Vinny out there?
I have I do. My wife's dad had a Mark Sanchez jersey because he's a Jets fan, and he gave it to my wife, and then I kept it because Sanchez was playing for the Eagles. Remember, cuz? And so I wore it one day when the Eagles were playing the Jets, and then I took her to her first NFL game. It was the Jets versus the Panthers, and I wore my Sanchez jersey down there to blend in with the Jets fans. There's a picture of me sitting there with the rest of the Jets fans, and I'm wearing a Sanchez jersey. And the Jets almost won the game. They had the game won, but then Cam Newton drove down the field and scored. I forget what year that was. Was that like 3-4 years ago? 5 years ago? She knows. Yeah, we went with some guy named Mike Brill. But you'll give away a Vinny Testaverde jersey. There you go.
I'll give away my Vinny Testaverde. I met the New York Jets Super Bowl champions when I was, back in 2000 to like 2005. They still have it every year in July. If you're ever up there in July, Chris, let me know, man. I could get you to meet them. But a guy named Larry Grantham, who was their all-pro linebacker, who's Anyway, how I know him, it was through this Freedom House. And we have an annual golf tournament every year, July, at Fiddler's Elbow there off of the 2278. And, I got to meet Emerson Boozer, Joe Namath, Don Maynard, Larry Grantham, Winston Justice, the coach, Ebik, before he passed away.
You met Broadway Joe?
Yeah. Met them all there, got all their autographs, everything. They signed a card. They come the day before to the house, and we sit and eat. We have steak and shrimp. And then the next day we do the golf tournament.
You got to get Chris up on that, man. He would love that, right?
Yeah. I think that one of the talk show guys from up there in New Jersey, I don't remember his name. He was a fan, and he won some kind of tournament. He's actually a sports announcer now. He's got black hair, the mustache. I can't remember his name. But he does some radio talk show. Big
from
Jets
New
fan.
York?
Yeah. I would know if somebody said. It's
not Francesi, is it?
I don't remember that name. But yeah, it is a good thing, man. They raise money for a men's halfway house to beat drug addiction and alcoholism.
It's awesome.
Yeah, Larry died.
Anything else, guys? We'll get out of here.
That's about it.
Tune in next week, Tuesday, when we may or may not have the return of a certain jackass who said he was going to be back here today. Happy birthday, Aunt Jay.
Can't talk about him.
What? Why?
You can't talk about it.
Will he pop up like Beetlejuice? He's not here. Anyway, I would like to thank everybody who tuned in. I would like to thank Chris's girl, Jennifer, again for hooking him in. Thank you very much for that, Jennifer. I would also like to thank my wife.
He'll learn it someday.
Keeping the kids at bay in my room right now because I'm in my bedroom, and the kids keep trying to come in and trying to poke their heads in on the screen here. So thank you for that. Also, don't forget the trivia contest. Tune in next week for more details. And also check out our Facebook page, Home Team Sports, for all our latest stuff and the stuff that we like to share. Go to 2M1L Media. If you like our show, give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe, show us a support, share this post, and everything like that. Happy birthday, Aunt Jay. And I'll see you next time we'll see everybody next time on Home Team Sports. Peace.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Pardon my